Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Scott, and today we're going to be painting the Xhiliarch, which is a character for the new Old Dominion army for Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings. So let's go ahead and dive into how I've painted this model. To get this model ready for painting, I've primed it using Rust-oleum Ultra Matte Black Paint Plus Primer. To get this model started off, we're going to begin with the skin. We're going to use Mechanicus Standard Gray as the base color for all of the flesh on the model. Now there's not a whole lot exposed, but make sure you take a quick moment and look over your model and identify anywhere that skin needs to be painted. We're going to shade all of the skin using Reikland Fleshshade. This shade is going to give all of the skin a somewhat fleshy appearance, but still leave it looking old and dried out, like we would expect from mummified remains. Once our shade is dried, we're going to do a highlight using Dawnstone. We're going to focus on all the raised surfaces of the flesh, but we're leaving the recesses with that brown color that we got from the shade in the previous step. For our next step, we're going to take Karak Stone, and we're going to do an additional layer of highlighting, but this time we're only focusing on the ridges that help express the details of the face, and maybe a few select spots on the muscle. I focus only on a few spots, but if you wanted, you could go more generous on your own model. Now we're very quickly going to pick out the eye on the model. We're going to use Gray Seer as the color for this. Now if you overpaint, don't worry, you can go back through with the colors you painted the skin with, and you can touch up the area around the eye. To add a little bit more color to the eye, we're going to take Contrast Warp Lightning, and we're just going to put a dot of this in the center of the eye, and then we're going to use our brush to seep up any excess paint so that it doesn't discolor the face around the eye. With the skin all done, we're going to take Leadbelcher, and we're going to use this as the base color for all of the armor. To add a bit of variety to the armor, we're going to take Sycorax Bronze, and we're going to paint all of the scale mail using this color. Just be careful not to get this on the Leadbelcher. Now we're going to apply a base coat to the cape using Mephiston Red, and I'm doing this at this step because I want to establish where each color is going before I begin weathering the model. For the base color for the fur, we're going to take Karak Stone, and we're going to paint this all over both the back side and the front side of the fur. Now that all of our base colors are in place, we're going to take Agrax Earthshade, and we're going to use this to wash both the silver armor and the bronze armor that we painted before. Now we're going to take Carroburg Crimson. We're going to use this to shade all of the red parts of the model. We're also going to use this to shade the inside of the fur part of the cloak. Now for the outside of the fur, we're going to take Seraphim Sepia and use this to shade all of the fur. And you want to go nice and heavy on this so that you get a nice dark tan color in the recesses. For the rust on this model, we're going to take 1 part Agrax Earthshade, 1 part Gryph-Hound Orange, and 1 part either water or medium. And we're going to do many layers of this over the parts of the model that we want to appear rusty. And it will take 4 or even 5 layers using this technique. Once those layers have dried, we're going to take just Gryph-Hound Orange by itself, and we're going to paint this just in the corners and any recesses where we feel that the rust should be the worst. And again, this may take 2 or 3 layers to get the orange color to start showing. Once we're done with that, we're going to take Troll Slayer Orange, and we're going to very carefully stipple this into the worst areas of the rust. Now, if you wanted to make this look more convincing, you could go through before you paint any of the armor and put Typhus Corrosion in the worst rusted areas on the model. Now we're going to want to make all of the bronze parts of the model look rusted as well. So we're going to take Nihilakh Oxide, and we're going to paint this in the recesses on the scale mail and any other areas that we painted bronze. With that all done, we're going to take Leadbelcher, and we're just going to do a couple edge highlights on select parts of the armor, just to give the appearance as if some of the rust has chipped off, or maybe not all of the armor has rusted quite yet. We're going to do the exact same thing for all of the bronze parts of the armor using Sycorax Bronze. Now the next thing we're going to work on is we're going to begin painting the burial mask that the model is wearing. We're going to use Administratum Grey as the base color for this mask. Once that base color is in place, we're going to take Grey Seer and we're going to do a layer of highlighting on the mask. We're not going all the way up to the edge of the mask like we did with the previous color. Now we're going to do an additional layer of highlighting on the mask using Pallid Witch Flesh. Now this layer is only going to be painted on the edges and ridges on the mask to really accent the areas where the light would catch. Now it's time to return to the cloak, and we're going to take Mephiston Red and we're going to layer back over all of the raised surfaces of the cloak. Once that's dry, we're going to take Evil Sunz Scarlet and we're going to do another layer of highlighting. And this time we're not going to go all the way up to the edges of what we did with the previous coat. For our last layer of highlighting, we're going to take Wild Rider Red, and this time we're only catching the ridges and the edges of the cloak. Now that the red parts of the cloak are done, we're going to take Zandri Dust, and we're going to use this to edge highlight all of the fur. We're also going to dry brush over the cloak to give it a dusty appearance. With that all done, we're going to take Rhinox Hide, and we're just going to pick out all of the leather straps that are on the model. This includes on the sandals, as well as a handful of straps that help hold the armor plates together. Next, we're going to quickly shade all of the straps using Nuln Oil. We'll also put this in a couple random spots on the armor just to provide some additional discoloration. Finally, we're going to take Mournfang Brown, and we're going to edge highlight all of the leather straps. We're also going to stipple this at the base of the cloak to give the appearance of mud splattering up onto the cloak. And with that, we finished painting this model. Thank you so much for watching today. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, go ahead and like it, and then subscribe to my channel so you can see future videos. There's going to be a lot of Old Dominion videos over the next few months as more and more models release for the army. So make sure you check back on the channel for those videos. As always, have an amazing day, and we'll catch you in the next one.